Now, why is this important to understand? Is because, dude, they're out to get you, man. In today's modern times, the forces are out to get you. Hi, Dr. Duc Vuong here, world famous bariatric surgeon, author of 13 books. I'm super excited to be with you tonight. I'm going to talk about nighttime cravings. Make some noise if you have any problems with nighttime cravings. Fuck, all of y'all do, right? So that's just the truth of it. And let's get down to the problem. Now, maybe you've had weight loss surgery and you were told or you thought you'd never be hungry again. So now you're sitting there eating popcorn late night going, what the hell? Why am I doing this to myself, right? Or maybe you've been good all through the day, but your struggles come once the sun goes down and the kids go to bed, and maybe, you and your longtime husband or whatever sit on the couch, and now you're in trouble, right? Or, no, some people have this problem, after everything is settled down and everybody's asleep, or maybe you're the only one in the house, and for some reason you're up at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning with your head in the fridge wondering, what the F am I doing, right? So, these are all things we're going to tackle with tonight, right? I'm super excited to have you here. Now, nighttime cravings. The first thing we have to do, the first tip for tonight is this, all right? What is your physiology? Now, what, Dr. Vuong? What, Dr. Vuong? So what is your physiology, okay? What I want to do is give you a little bit of science behind cravings, and then I want to talk about a little bit what's happening in commercialism, and then I'm going to take it up to the top, over the top with my third tip. What do I mean by your physiology? All right, something is happening inside your body, right? That triggers a craving. All right, causes a craving. Now let me ask you this question real quick. Where does a craving arise? Think about this. All right. It's my stomach, Dr. Vuong. It's my stomach. No, it's in your brain. But there's some things that are causing that, all right? So let me give you a couple of those things, okay? What's causing this? Number one, most likely, it's going to be dehydration. Now, you've all heard this where people go, if you get hungry, what should you do? Come on, Mary. What should you do if you get hungry? What's the first thing you should do? It might be dehydration, right? You've heard this tip, so drink water. Now, if this works for hunger, why wouldn't it work for cravings? Isn't hunger and cravings the same thing? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe this is, you guys are like the head hunger. Maybe cravings are head hunger. We'll talk about that here tonight. But think about this for a second. If you believe that drinking a glass of water first helps with your hunger, then wouldn't it help with your cravings? Absolutely it would. Why? Because your body could be telling you you're dehydrated. And that's why you have the craving, right? Now this sounds like, Dr. Vuong, that must be too simple. But think about this. We just said that the cravings come from the brain, right? Because what wakes you up in the middle of the night and goes, I think I'm going to look in the fridge. Or, hey, I'm sitting watching this sad movie. Maybe I want to have some popcorn, right? That's a thought in the brain. Now, question, brain. What is your brain mostly made of? Anyone know? Dr. Vuong, it's gray matter. It's white matter. Whenever someone gets shot in the head in movies, there's blood and gray stuff that flies all over the place. Well, no, not true. Brain is actually 75% what? Anyone know? Hell yeah. So your brain is actually 75% water. See, it's not mostly that solid stuff. Imagine the picture of the brain. You're sitting there thinking it's like this solid thing with like little curvy worm, snake-like things all through it, right? No, it's actually mostly water. So, if you get dehydrated, what is more likely to happen? Your membranes get irritated. All right, inflamed is another way to look at it. the membranes around your brain get inflamed and irritated. What can this lead to? This can lead to headaches. This is a hangover, by the way. Right? Emotions. And by emotions, I mean things like impatience. Now, some of you guys are sitting there going, no, Dr. Vuong. No, that doesn't happen to me. Have you ever said the word hangry? Do you know hangry? It's a combination of hungry plus what? Angry equals what? Hangry? Well, what the fuck? What's that then? Where'd that come? I just said that, right? Your brain is dehydrated and you're getting irritable because you think you're hungry. Oh, now see, Dr. Vuong starting to make it make sense to you now, right? It's starting to come together. So the first thing you want to do is make sure you're really well hydrated, right? And this also, poor sleep. Because some people are sitting there going, but why do I wake up at 2 in the morning? Well, you're dehydrated. Your brain is not in its proper state to be able to sleep, to go down deep on sleep. So now you're always floating. Have you ever had that where you're sleeping? I'm a light sleeper, Dr. Vuong. I'm a light sleeper. What does that mean? Oh, I wake up at any little thing. What does that mean? It just means you just don't dive down deep enough into your theta waves. Because I promise you, if you ever get down into a deep enough dream state, waking up's not subtly. It's like suddenly. It's kind of jolting, right? You know what I'm talking about? So what's happening is it's not poor sleep as much as it's just not deep enough sleep, okay? That could also have things to do with sleep apnea, blood sugars, diabetes, things like that. But for the most part, let's just keep it to dehydration because that really affects it too, okay? But dehydration will affect your poor sleep. All right, does that make sense? First thing, dehydration, because it triggers a lot of the stuff in the brain, leads to cravings, okay? That's number one. Number two, there's probably some sort of electrolyte imbalance. Now, before you sit there and go, oh my gosh, these are fancy words, they're not that fancy. But, and this is going to tie into my next part, okay? Electrolyte imbalance. What's happening here, Dr. Vuong? What's happening? Well, oftentimes, it's going to be some form of sodium, that's Na, sodium, or potassium, that's potassium, or calcium, calcium imbalance. It can be a lot of things, like there's some micronutrients, manganese, selenium, all those, chromium, those are all important for your functioning of your neurons, but for the most part, I want to talk about calcium, potassium, and sodium, okay? Because these are all how cells work. All cells. So muscle cells. You ever get leg cramps? People are like, you're probably low in potassium. Leg cramps, muscles, but also your neurons. So your neurons includes your brains. These are all important in cell signaling. I should really say what it is, right? Signaling. Now, I'm not going to get into biochemistry and all that sort of stuff tonight because I'll lose all of y'all on that stuff. Not very exciting, but these are the ions that are important for how the cells in your body need to work, whether it's muscle, cardiac, neurons, brain tissue, etc. And at some point, it could be that you're missing something. And I'm going to go into that in the next section, okay? Sodium, potassium, calcium, okay? In fact, I'll give you a hint about it right now, okay? Let me give you one hint. So one example of this, an example could be what would happen. Now, I'm not picking on anybody, but think about soda. When you drink soda, what are you doing? And if you drink a soda, what does soda have in it? It's got caffeine. What does caffeine do? What does caffeine do? That's right. It makes you pee-pee. So caffeine dehydrates you. So even though you might drink, and I've had people tell me they drink 20 Dr. Peppers a day. They'll drink a 2-liter bottle a day. They'll drink a ton of soda and wonder why they don't feel good. But you're dumping a bunch of caffeine into your body, and it causes you to urinate. At least at first it does, because once you get dehydrated, now your body tries to hold on to that fluid, and then you don't pee as much, and now you're drinking all this soda and thinking like, well, if Dr. Vuong tells me to drink water, I'll be going to the bathroom every hour and a half, and I couldn't work. Well, you're supposed to pee every hour and a half. That's actually a healthy kidneys. You're supposed to pee like 10, 12 times a day. Did you know that? You're supposed to. Okay, so example, soda. Now, what else does soda have in it besides caffeine? Boy, it's got a lot of chemicals. And when we say chemicals, sodium is a big one of them, right? So now what are you doing? You're dumping way too much sodium. Now your sodium and all this sort of stuff affects your kidneys also. Your kidney function and your stomach, your GI tract, has sodium potassium absorption too. It's responsible for taking in and out water, sodium, potassium. So are your kidneys, because your body is trying to regulate all this shit, but you're overwhelming it with a bunch of chemicals and preservatives and all sorts of stuff because you're drinking sodas. So even if you drink, let's say I drink caffeine-free soda, Dr. Vuong. I drink diet soda, Dr. Vuong. I drink, blah, 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 Dr. Vuong. This is a shitload of chemicals that your body is trying to process. Does that make sense? And the fact that your body can process all this crap is a testament to how wonderful your body really is. Oh my God! So imagine what would happen if you just did this one thing and say, I fucking love myself enough to not poison it. Dr. Vuong, that's a little extreme. That's a little extreme, Dr. Vuong. I'm not poisoning my body. I have these cravings. I have blah, blah, blah. I have no willpower. I'm going to throat punch the next person who says that. It's a willpower. It's not a fucking willpower issue, y'all. I want to talk about some basic physiology really quick, okay? Because I want to talk about the carbonation. This is super important. I get this question a lot. Dr. Vuong, what's the word with carbonation? I'm about to give you the answer that every time you see that question from a weight loss surgery patient, you can point it to this part, okay? This video. Carbonation. What is carbonation? Carbonation. Anyone knows? What causes the bubble? Carbonation, Dr. Vuong. Will that hurt my surgery, Dr. Vuong? Will carbonation stretch out my surgery, Dr. Vuong? You're asking the wrong question, dude. You're asking the wrong question. Okay. Real quick, everyone take a deep breath to me. Dr. Vuong needs to take a deep breath. Dr. Vuong, you should take a deep breath. Okay, ready? Take a deep breath. Now, what did you just inhale? Oxygen. A lot of stuff, but primarily you're trying to exchange oxygen, okay? So breathe in. You get oxygen. Now exhale with me. What did you breathe out? Carbon dioxide, CO2. Now a lot of you guys remember that from chemistry class, right? From biology class. CO2, carbon dioxide. The stuff that's in that cars let out, the stuff that's causing a pollution, right? CO2 is what's destroying our ozone layer, right? This is the air pollution. Okay, here's my point. Our body naturally knows to release carbon dioxide. Why? Because it's a poison to my body. But what do you think gives bubbles in sodas? CO2. This is it. So our body lets it out because it naturally knows it's a poison, but we drink carbonation like it's like going out of style. You drink sodas, you drink all sorts of fizzy drinks. And y'all want to like, okay, well, I don't drink sodas, Dr. Vuong, but what about this fizzy water thingamajiggy thing? It's a poison. Will it stretch out my surgery? How about it will kill your ass? How about that bigger question? Right? You guys follow me? And you are dumping so much carbonation and chemicals and junk into your body, and you're walking around going, why do I have cravings, Dr. Vuong? Why do I have cravings? You're poisoning your body. That's the answer to the physiology part, right? I love you very much. Don't hate me, but it's the truth. Hey, how did y'all like that first tip? Was that good? When you understand the physiology, what's happening inside our bodies, and how we are just overwhelming our system with impurities, chemicals, electrolytes, things we don't need, dehydrating ourselves, it irritates the brain membranes, which then causes these cravings, hunger triggers, etc., because our body is completely off balance. It will change how you view hunger and how you view cravings, right? So I want to talk about number 2, all right? So here's number 2. Tip number 2. What happened yesterday? Oh, hell, Dr. Vuong. What does that mean, Dr. V? What's he talking about here? When you have a craving, I want you to ask yourself this question. What happened yesterday? What happened yesterday? Okay? Now, there's a reason why I want to tell you this, okay? A lot of times we walk around, and I had this problem, trust me, man. Like, I'm not preaching from the pulpit. I'm down there with the sinners, man. When I was in surgery residency, for some reason, I was cooking a lot. I really enjoyed it, but I love Rocky Road ice cream. So don't tell anybody, but I really love Rocky Road ice cream. And but when I was in surgery residency, would have been back in like 2003, 2004. I was finding myself having like a small scoop of Rocky Road ice cream every night after dinner. But I didn't realize it was every night. It was just how we like to finish off dinner, right? And then one night, I decided, I was like, man, I gained, like my last year of residency, I gained like 20 pounds. I was like, what? I was still skinny, but I was like heavier than I'd ever been. So I said, man, I got to stop this, right? So then I said, I'm going to stop my Rocky Road ice cream. So I went cold turkey, threw out my container of Rocky Road ice cream. And then that very first night, I was literally like walking around like, oh my God. Like I was shaking. I couldn't, oh my God. Okay? Think about that. It was like physically, like I could feel it, right? I could feel it. So comment if you can feel it, right? When you're having one of these experiences, these cravings. Okay. So, and it took me about 3 or 4 days it got better. The next day wasn't as bad. And eventually, now I like a Rocky Road ice cream every now and then. It's not like I don't ever have ice cream, but it's not like I'm doing it every single day. So, why am I telling you this? So, the reason why this is important is because there is an actual job. If your kid needs a job or a career, there's a job called food chemists. And these are people who manipulate our food products. And I said food products, not food, okay? Because they can't manipulate broccoli, but they can package broccoli and cover it full of cheese and salt and cheese and put it in a box for you to microwave and make you think like you're having cheesy broccoli and somehow that's healthy. But it's in a box. They manipulate that. But they cannot manipulate an apple. But they can manipulate the caramel-covered apple snack bites, stuffy thingamajiggies. Right? So this is an actual career. These people make a career out of figuring out what are they working on. The balance, the right balanced, right amount of sugar, fat, and salt, that's pretty much it, to make you eat more of what? Their food products. That's it. Their whole job is to try to figure out, do they put in more sugar, put in more fat, put in more salt? What's the right balance of these three things to make you eat more of their food products? That's their job. Now, I love this job. Why? Not because it keeps me in business. No. It's because if you think about it, this is all I try to do, in the sense that I try to figure out the right messaging, the right content, the right amount of passion, the right amount of cursing, the right amount of interaction that makes you want to consume me more, to watch more of my videos, so that way you can buy my books, buy my online course, come meet me at a conference. Why? So I can help you. The difference is Dr. Vuong does that so I can help you. These people are doing it just to sell you more products. It stops there. Does that make sense? So I'm not angry about them. I'm not mad about it. If anything, I'm kind of jealous. But the second we understand that there's an entire massive industry that is out to get you. That's out to get you. So, cravings might not be your fault. Might not be your fault. Cravings. Now, don't get me wrong. It's all your fucking fault. I mean, I don't absolve you from blame. But between the food chemists and marketing and all the mass media and all the advertising and what your kids want and toys and Happy Meals and all the stuff and the jingles and the songs and, to all beef patty special sauce, let's just sing with me. You know that song. See, that's a marketing thing that drives you to buy more product, right? It's all intertwined. So, man, come on. So, it's an uphill climb, is all I'm saying. It's a battle. So I get it. People sitting, and someone just said, right? Like, oh my God, it's so hard. How do I give this up? How, it's hard at nighttime. It's, when I polled you guys before this talk, I got that. Nighttime, that's my worst time, and da-da-da. Hey, it's an uphill climb. Because it's a battle, man. I get it. You are absolutely right. It is a struggle because all these forces are against you. Make sense? Now, some people still want to ignore this fact, but it's super powerful, right? Don't ignore this. As long as you keep falling, you might be watching this eating a ho-ho, drinking your soda, drinking your Starbucks latte, right? Understand that you will always be battling because they are driving it down your face 24/7. So what does this mean, Dr. Vuong? To the tip. What happened yesterday? See, we sit there and we go, oh my God, the craving just hit me. It's 10 o'clock at night and the craving just now hit me. No it didn't. It just showed up 10 o'clock tonight, but it was because of something you did yesterday or this morning. Huh? Make sense? You bought into it. You were in a hurry. Your mom has been sick in the hospital and all you can do is have cafeteria food in the hospital, which everybody knows is no good. Not very healthy for you. A bunch of junk food. Right? Or maybe all you felt like you could eat was like sandwich meat. Full of preservatives and sodium and salt, blah, blah, blah. Just terrible stuff. Poisons in luncheon meat. And we eat it. Pay attention now. We eat it on Monday because mom's got a doctor's appointment. And then, mom might be having a mini heart attack or a mini stroke, so you have to take her to the ER right now. So now dinner is also whatever is in the vending machine or in the hospital cafeteria. We have to admit her for observation. So Tuesday is breakfast in the cafeteria, right? Or breakfast through a drive-through, right? And then, she has to have a heart catheterization, make sure she's not having a heart attack. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, right? And now Friday night comes along, mom's okay. Mom's gonna be all right. They caught it early, they ballooned it open, but now someone's got to watch her, and all mom has in the refrigerator is luncheon meat. Oh, damn it! You eat more luncheon meat, and then the following week you sit there and you go, oh my God, like, I need something salty. I need some chips, man. Who follows me? Who's had something like this? I need something. I need some pickle juice, right? So the craving it's not at 10 p.m. right now. It's something that happened yesterday. Now this is important because this is what we call the sentinel event. Boom! Come on now. Whatever's been happening is the sentinel event. By sentinel, it means like the first thing, the trigger point. What caused it? What threw it off? The sentinel event. The craving, hold on, your head's about to explode, is the result. Whoa! Got it? So if you're always worrying about the craving, how do I control the craving? How do I control the craving, Dr. Vuong? How do I control the craving, Dr. Vuong? How do I control the craving, Dr. Vuong? That's like saying, how do we take care of this, blood sugar of 300, or this thing that's already occurred, or how do we undo the Holocaust? How do we undo this shooting? How do we undo this murder? It's too late. You have to get back to what caused it. What was the sentinel event? What was the real cause, right? What was the root behind the craving? So the craving is just the result. It just shows up. But you've been doing something, and sometimes it wasn't just yesterday, yo. It's been years and years, but it's been every night you watch a movie, eating popcorn every night. Give me some amens now. It means every time you're stressed out, every time. This is your repeated pattern. This is a go-to thing, right? Now, why is this important to understand? It's because, dude, they're out to get you, man. In today's modern times, the forces are out to get you. So now, harder. Come on. Is it harder or easier to break habits? Which one is it? You know the answer. It's so much harder to break bad habits now, isn't it? Because drive-thrus are open 24/7. There's vending machines everywhere. You can order online. You don't even need to pick up a phone anymore. You just go on the internet and order it. You can have Grubhub deliver it or Uber Eats deliver it. You don't even need to leave your house anymore. It's 24/7. And the jingle and the songs and commercials. Oh my God. And they have it down to a science. Okay? But you will never fix cravings. You will never control nighttime cravings. You will never control nighttime cravings until you get down to the original root cause. And that's what we're going to talk about in the next video. Cool! Tip number 3 is this. What are cravings? Now we sit there. Now some of you paying attention would be like, why didn't you start with this as opposed to end with this? You think if you talked about a problem, you'd want to have a video that says, what cravings are. But we're going to end with what are cravings. Why? What are cravings? Okay. Think about it. A lot of times we just say, I have a craving. But have you ever really thought about what a craving is? What is a craving? Okay. So let me ask you some questions. When you are having a craving, when you are in the throes of a craving, Dr. Vuong, I have a craving for chocolate. Here's the question. How do you feel? Fair enough? How are you feeling? When the craving hits you, how are you feeling? Put some comments. How are you feeling? Right? I'm guessing you're going to say stuff like maybe, I don't know. I just know it's a craving. That's a terrible answer. I can't describe it, Dr. Vuong, but I know it's just overwhelming and all-powerful. That's a shitty answer. I will throat punch you. Don't give me that answer. Think about it. How do you feel? How do you feel when you have a craving? I'll give you how I felt. When I was eating Rocky Road, don't laugh, a scoop of Rocky Road every night, gained 10, 15, 20 pounds, and then I went cold turkey and I stopped eating the Rocky Road. That first night, I was like, ugh, jittery, right? So I was jittery. I was anxious. Like, I was literally like walking around like, oh my God, I gotta have some Rocky Road. I felt out of control. How do you feel? Out of control. Now you're talking my language, Dr. V. Some people are like, you're talking my language, Dr. V. Out of control. Right? Irritable. That might be anxious, but irritable. Okay? Some people sweat. Have you ever been sweaty? Like you're clenched so hard. You're like sweaty? Yeah, baby. I love me a sweaty, skinny Asian. Sweaty, skinny Asian. Right? Okay. So does that make sense? How do you feel? All right. So let me ask you this question. You can comment if you agree, disagree, right? What's the word to describe how you feel? By that I mean, like, what do we call these feelings? Feelings are... Another word for feelings... Another word for feelings would be emotion, Dr. V. Aren't these, y'all must agree with me, these are just emotions, right? Anxious, nervous, edgy, irritable. You don't feel right here in the gut. No, Dr. Vuong, that's a craving. Well, think about it, right? Have you ever had to speak in public? And the thought of standing on stage in front of people, how did you feel? Oh my God, like jittery, irritable, nervous inside, butterflies. I was irritable, I was angry, I was anxious. The same fucking feeling as a craving. Hello. That was the sound of a couple of brains blowing right there. When you make that connection, that cravings are emotions. Yes? So, what I want to do right now is share a very powerful lesson that I learned from watching Louise Hay. And if you don't follow Louise Hay, she just died like 2 years ago. Super powerful lady. Talks a lot about mirror work. And she says this, and an emotion, Louise Hay said, an emotion is nothing but a thought making its way through your body. Ooh, I'm going to let that soak in for a little bit. An emotion is nothing but a thought making its way through your body. An emotion is a thought, one more time, thought making its way through your body. Wow, how powerful is that? An emotion is a thought making its way through your body, y'all. And if that's true, then a craving must be what? A thought making its way through your body. When we sit there and complain about cravings, can't control myself around chocolate, yada, 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 think about it from now on. That is just a thought making its way through your body. Okay? Now, let's reverse engineer this. We just said that, Dr. Vuong, where's the thought coming from? Where's the thought coming from, Dr. Vuong? I just said you're being manipulated from the food industry. Patterns, habits. And that was number one. Number two, the first thing is yourself. Your fault. You keep dumping soda into your body, causing horrible physiological shifts, and you're wandering around going, how do I give up Coke? Really? So it's also your fault because you fall for this stuff. And what's happened is in the dieting industry, the obese world, we're walking around like saying, how do I control my cravings? Oh, poor me, woe is me. I would put this, now don't hate me because it's true, I would put this in that whole category of first world problems. Ta-da! I didn't have enough whipped cream on my latte. Damn it, my day's ruined. First world problems. Friggin' traffic. Instead, I'd get there faster if I could walk there instead of being stuck in traffic for an hour, 10 minutes onto my commute time. No, first world problems. I'm going to tell you this and I say it with a lot of love. A lot of people don't understand that I'm a Vietnamese refugee. I'm one of the Vietnamese boat people, and I spent 6 months in a refugee camp. And when I came over, I was 6 years old. My dad was 36, and we had to start all over, and we couldn't speak English, didn't know anything, right? We didn't have any resources. We had no friends. We had no family here that we knew about, right? And so I understand what it means to be hungry. And when I hear people in the dieting world and the weight loss surgery world complain about being hungry, but they're 300 pounds, I just have very little patience for that. I promise you, and speaking from personal experience, nobody who is hungry, nobody who does not have enough food to eat, suffers from cravings. If you do not have enough food to eat, and there are people on this planet and in America that do not have enough food to eat, I promise you they're not up at night worried about their cravings. They're not up worried about where they get their next salty chips. You're having a first world problem. I need you to get down to the root cause, the sentinel event. Okay? Why the fuck are you up at 12 o'clock with your head in the fridge? Why is it that you feel the need to watch reruns of Seinfeld? Why do you feel the need to sit on the couch when you have your grandbabies visiting and you could be exploring the jungle gyms with them and taking them to the zoo and the park? Why? Okay? First world problems, man. And I have very little patience for shit like this. There's too many people suffering on this planet, and my time on this planet is too short. And your time on this planet is too fucking short. Now, for those of you still watching me and haven't turned off the video broadcast, feel my passion. Take a second, look in my eyes, and understand and admit to yourself that what I am saying right now is the fucking truth. Your dreams are too small. You are caught up in your little, small worries of your first world life. You are caught up in your little worries of your first world life. Most of this planet do not have access to chocolate, to all these different choices, to all this junk food, to food right around the corner, food 24/7. Only in the developed countries do we. And now that we're spreading all of these chemical, junk, fast food products to poorer countries like India, parts of China, Asia, the obesity rates have skyrocketed. And it's the same shit that we did to ourselves in America. I'm not preaching at you guys. I love you very much, but I will never have this conversation with you again. I will never have this conversation with you again about fucking cravings. It is so small, right? It is an offense to all of the other refugees who have tried to find a better life for themselves. It is an offense to my dad. It is a distraction to my work. Now look at me. It is a distraction to your real life. It is a distraction to your real purpose if you're hung up on why you can't give up Coke, why you have to snack on popcorn, why. I'm going to tell you why. Your dreams are too piddly-ass, too small. And I challenge you to live a bigger life, to do more. That is the root cause of all of your cravings, your stress eating, emotional eating, all that stuff. You are too self-centered. You have to go out and have a bigger purpose for your life, bigger dreams. Then the cravings aren't an issue. Then the drive-through is not a fucking issue. Then the chip aisle and soda aisle in the grocery store is not a fucking issue. You get it? And maybe I've lost a lot of fans having said this, but I'm almost sure I've gained a few more. Because I know if you're watching this to this point, you're tired of all that bullshit too. You're tired of all the dieting bullshit, all of the gurus, all of the Facebook groups, all of the other support groups that keep you hostage. They keep you hostage. And I'm here to liberate you. I'm here to help you break free from that, to be more. So what I'd like you to do is take a look at all the other free videos I have on YouTube, my Facebook channel, my Facebook page, my Instagram. Start following all the free content and finally break free from this stuff, because it's been a long pattern that's caused this craving. This craving is not a now event. Emotional eating is not a now event because your mom is sick. It's what happened yesterday. It's all the stuff that happened leading up to it. It's all the things you've been ignoring. It's all the Dr. V, I've ignored myself. I haven't taken care of myself. I've put other people ahead of me. I say stop. Stop that. Start living your life, living your dreams, and you will see that your cravings will go away. A craving is nothing but a thought making its way through your body. Question: who controls your thoughts? Who controls your thoughts? The answer is only you. Only you. Not Dr. V, not your mom, not your boss, not your husband. Only you. So if that's true, then I suggest that you learn as quickly as possible to figure out how to control your thoughts. And to do that, you figure out what it is you really want to do with your life, who you really are, and what level do you want to play at. What sort of significance do you want to leave behind? Otherwise, you will always be trapped. Trapped by your emotions, your emotional eating, your cravings, all the stuff that got you morbidly obese. I love you guys very much. I hope to see you next time. Life is short. I know I was a little hard on you, but understand I say that with a lot of love. I want you to live your ultimate purpose. Okay? Be more. Love you guys. Hi, Dr. Vuong here. If you loved that video, I hope you will check out velocity2020.com. I want to meet you in person. This is my big annual conference in Vegas. It's amazing. It's not just about weight loss surgery, but it's about taking your life up to the next level. You're going to meet the best people, the best speakers, the best audience possible. You're going to really take your life up to the next level. 2020 is all about vision, clarity, and focus. We're going to show you how to find your vision, what you really want to do with your life, get crystal clear, clarity, and then find your laser focus to do what you need to do to have the amazing life that you deserve. Hope to see you there.